All right, everybody, so we wanted to give you a quick tour of the before and after of our newest project in the city of Falls Church. This is a huge transformation, one of the biggest ones we've done in years. This house was a complete mess when we bought it. Standing here in the newly formed driveway, which is doubled in size. We got a brand new front porch. We relocated the front door, completely transformed the interior of the home as well as the exterior. We've got all new hardy plank siding, brand new landscaping throughout, a new sidewalk, new front porch, new windows, new roof. This home is basically a completely restored 7-year-old home through and through. Come inside with me, take a look, I'll take you on a tour. So we're standing here in the newly created foyer here to my left, and where you used to come in actually was right here. This was a very tight entry right into your stairs and a hard left into the house. This house was originally constructed in the early 1950s. It was a very basic, what we call salt box colonial here. You'll see throughout Arlington and Falls Church. It just doesn't work anymore. It made the house feel really small. So what we did is completely transform the main level floor plan by relocating the front door from where you see the window now to where you see the front door here. This used to be a dining room. By doing that, we added a huge front porch with Trex deck, vinyl rails, increased the curb appeal of the home, and just made it a much more functional floor plan. Now you walk into what we call a center hall colonial. You've got a hall tree, a nice big wide foyer, a powder room, and it's just a much better flow into the back of the house. All right, as you can see, we're standing here in the heart of the home. We've got an informal dining space that's wide open to the kitchen and family room. We've got a nice sitting area that we created over here off of the foyer as well. And this was a huge part of the project and a big transformation. When we bought this home, it was very choppy, very closed off. Refrigerators were in the bedroom, the kitchen was tiny, and the prior family had done a renovation to this house in the 80s, so it's called functional obsolescence. It was done in the 80s, but it just didn't really fit today's buyers' needs. So what we did here behind me is open this wall up completely, doubled the cased opening here. So by relocating the front door, you get to see front to back. Not only is the floor plan important, but bringing in a lot of natural light in these older homes is key as well. So now when you walk in the front door, you can see front to back, all the way through to your backyard. We relocated the kitchen, we expanded the kitchen, and we also added a ton of windows across the back so you can see directly from the front to the back, also see your kids playing in the backyard. Additionally, one of the things we found in this house that was completely unexpected and you don't see often is actually a 14-foot concrete header here. And that's original. This is the original load-bearing wall. It was kind of a surprise and a pleasant surprise because what we thought we'd have to do here was put in and engineer a big steel beam. But by relocating the space this way, we actually got a good surprise for once and saved a little money and a little time by reusing this concrete header. And again, that is not a common thing you see in this area, so it was a pleasant surprise and something we don't see often. So we're standing here in the newly renovated primary bedroom, and the space was here before, but it was dated, it was dark, and it was not as functional as it is now. We enhanced the space by adding tons of recessed lights, all new windows, all new flooring, as well as opened up the space to create a bigger walk-in closet and a primary bath. This bath was big before, but it was an awkward layout, had 3 linen closets and a little corner shower. So as you can see, completely reconfigured that space, brought this wall here beside us out just a little bit to give it more depth. Now we have a huge walk-in shower, dual shower heads, dual vanities, and 1 linen closet because you don't need 3 in a house this size. So we're standing here in the newly improved and much improved basement. If you remember from before, when we did demo, we found an old school shuffleboard underneath the carpet here, which was kind of a cool rare find. But ultimately, this was a dark, crammed, closed off space that's completely transformed now. We brought in an extra window. We actually opened the staircase here. We brought in the horizontal modern metal rails. Obviously all new carpet. Created a 5th bedroom that was not here before, added an egress window, created a beautiful 3rd bath that was not here before as well. So now this is a true, not only entertaining space in the back of the rec room, but also a functional in-law suite, guest space, home office, tons of space, much more functional than the way we started. As you can see in the rec room here, we created a much more livable space by relocating a HVAC, relocating ductwork, and also relocating a sump pump. This gives you a much more open space. You can use it for games, rec room, entertaining. So we're standing here in the newly created stamped concrete patio with a Nico block retaining wall. This was a much needed improvement on this space. There was a small crumbling patio here before that was completely unlevel and not really usable. So now this gives you a covered living space, outdoor space underneath the deck. And you can see here the yard is probably the biggest transformation of the house outside of the front porch and front elevation. Honestly, when we bought this house, the lot was so overgrown that we had 2 surveyors walk off the job and said, I can't do it. There was so much cover, so much brush, so many rose bushes that they literally couldn't get through the property and their lasers couldn't get through to do the work. So we had to come in and clear this lot, get the survey updated before we could start work. And as you can see, we not only sodded the yard, we cleared out all of the overgrown brush that was here for the last 30 years. But the biggest change was we took out a retaining wall. It was about 4 feet tall at the back, kind of in the middle of the yard. And by doing that, we were able to bring in some more topsoil, bring in sod, and make this backyard much more usable for the family that's moving in next week.